Rising Divine Legends. Welcome to a Happy Friday practice where we are going to nourish our little form on our mat. And the prop that you're going to want for this practice is most won't typically have a bolster. That's what I have lunt against that wall. That's called a bolster, but a big pillow, a big body pillow, or one of the bigger fluffy pillows off your couch, perhaps a couple of those, right? You're going to want to have something like that. So go grab your prop, have it handy. It'll be for the end when we come into our final resting pose. We're here really to move slow, to nourish with breath, with movement, to get into the form. To what I like to say, release some issues out of the tissues. What I've really been bringing forth in my class, particularly this week, as wow, we are going through astrologically movement we have never seen in our lifetimes. I'm hearing how lives are being impacted all around me. I'm going through my own experiences, but coming through with so much clarity at the end of this week. I'm very excited to be here on the mat with you. And what has really come through from the beginning of the week and culminating in a message I want to bring forth is that we can find mental wholeness. We can find a place of steady, strong, calm procession, which I believe is our best way forward for the children. I believe for our children to feel safe, to authentically express themselves, to find that center and really know why they're here is to have a safe environment in which the adult is the stabilizing force, proceeding in that steady, strong, calm manner, which I have found through the Radical Recovery Program, integrating my very fractured self back into the awareness of my mental wholeness. And so much of it has happened on the mat, but it has also happened by the aligning to universal law. And because on another channel, I unpack the law week by week, I brought in this week's law because it really helps this message to make sense of why I'm here. We were unpacking earlier this week the universal law of karma, which is you're being called to a higher purpose. And so for my life, I am very clear as I have deconstructed a lot of programming, identified a lot of limited belief within my subconscious, and have reprogrammed and understand that my biggest mission is to create peace, harmony, grace, ease, coming from such a high level of drama, discord, division, disgust, so much splintering that played out in destruction, very destructive ways. So my journey has been to find that magical middle within, to tap into the version of myself that knows the infiniteness. And it's happened on the mat, and it is where we come back to, and I'm recognizing as I came into the classes this week that everyone that comes onto the mat has that opportunity to connect back into that version of self, big S self, the infinite self that knows beyond the finite mind what you came here for, what you are here for. And it is learning to be your most authentic self. And we get there feeling safe in the body. And we feel safe in the body when we release the issues out of the tissues. We don't feel safe in the body getting in a chair and talking out. There's a place and a time for that. I absolutely agree with that modality for our healing, for our recovery, for our mental wholeness. I have my outlets where I blah, all of it out. I'm a very verbal processor. I got to get stuff out to even make sense. A lot of my journey has been that. But to find the mental wholeness, freedom in my mind, awareness of my inherent worthiness has been coming back into the body, feeling safe to release the issues out of the tissues, really recovering every part. And so part of what I wanted to bring forth, this law of karma tells us to the extent to which the collective uses the life force for harmony is the extent we will create heaven on earth. And as Yeshua was so clearly trying to show us, as within, so without, as he sat up on that hill with capital S self, connecting deeply to that infinite place to then walk in the miracles which are happening in my life. And if you're curious about that at all, go over to my other YouTube channel where I talk pretty openly about the magic and the miracles happening on the regular in my life. This morning, I'm bringing us back into the body, knowing that to even recover at all to this place of mental wholeness, we've got to release these issues out of the tissues, and it's helping our bodies to feel safe. Right? So really, as we're here just sitting and I'm talking, why don't you begin to rub along the legs, rub along the arms. Slow it down. Slow it down. So much of my journey has been slowing down, going at such a breakneck pace to understand what is going on. What is going on? Where's this love? Where's this love I grew up hearing about in that Western organized religious institute that I had not yet experienced? And so here to experience. And so taking the hands to the knees, find your tall spine, let that chin be parallel to the floor, not too lifted, crunching into the back of your neck and not tucked. We'll take some breaths. Take a big inhale here. Awe it out. Another inhale. Awe that out. One more big inhale in. Hold it. Sip a little more like through a straw. Hold. Hold. And awe it out. Keeping the eyes closed. Connecting deeply into the breath. Evening the breath out, smooth inhales, smooth exhales, finding the very bottom of that exhale with every cycle, that letting go, feeling into your body, the surrender happening. The evolution process tells us the truth of many versions of ourselves over a lifetime. Why we come back to our mat over and over and over, breathing into, we understand there's a version of ourselves that knows beyond finite understanding. Peace. Mini serenity. Keep breathing with the eyes closed. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Feel the belly as it rises with your inhale. Chest lifting just a bit. Everything sinking back toward the earth as you're exhaling, slowly finding the bottom of that breath every time. Slowing the breath down so that we're coming into that parasympathetic system to find that balance once again. Recognizing how often we're up in the sympathetic system with our phone alerting us all day long. In order to come back into balance, we drop back into the parasympathetic system, right? That system of ease, digest, and rest, where the belly can relax, our gut brain can work. We feel the heart beating just for us. Remembering that all is well. We're here to move in slow, gentle ways this morning, nourishing the form, connecting deeply in with the breath. Recognizing our only obligation in this lifetime is to learn to take a deep breath. It's all we're here to do. Take those deep breaths to access that version of ourselves that is infinite. Couple more breaths here. And the final breath. Saying yes to this loving practice in which we come back into the knowing, the magical middle of equanimity as we nourish the form with movement. We'll open the eyes and let's bring our knees a little wider and our feet together right away, coming into butterfly. Now, if this feels really taxing on the hips, you can bring your hands under your knees and support if they're feeling very tight and you don't want to drop into this very deeply. So you can support yourself. If you have those pillows I suggested that you get at the beginning, you can grab those, right? One on each side and maybe come in here. So that's another option. I like to give lots of options. If you're going to come with me and drop the knees into the mat, opening up the hips a little more, we're all going to sit with a tall spine, whether you're here, right here, or here. Find your tall spine. Take another inhale. With your flat back, if you want to move, come with me. Otherwise, stay right where you are. I'm leaning forward, hinging in my hips, keeping my flat back, keeping my chin from tucking, right? I keep my eyes closed just to feel into the body, intuitively knowing where I want to go next. Staying flat backed, keeping that full, long spine into the neck area. Take one more breath here. As you exhale, drop in. Let your chin tuck in. Feel that curling happening in the spine. Now breathing into the back of your neck and upper back area. Allowing the hips to open with the breath. One more big breath here. Exhaling all the way. Stay low. Walk yourself over toward your right side. Take your left hand and push on that left knee, just bowing over this right knee as we push the left away, opening into that side seat on your left side. Breathe into that side of your hip, that low back area. One more breath. We're going to come over to the other side. Stay low. Walk slowly, gently over to that other side, bowing over this right knee, left knee. Take your right hand, push into that right knee. Breathe into that right side of your body now. You inhale, come through center, stay low. We're going to take one more breath here. Exhaling all the way. Gently lift your upper body up, finding that tall spine once again. We'll cross the legs one in front of the other back into our easy seated position, kind of wiggling the hips, settling the sit bones back down onto the mat, finding your tall spine, maybe pulling that belt a little tighter around the waist to protect your low back. We're going to inhale our arms overhead. Drop this right hand, reach this left arm, push that arm long, spreading the fingers so the whole side of your body engages and stretches out. Inhale as you reach up, spreading your fingers so both sides of the body engage, feeling that stretch along that side of your body as you push that arm long, fingers spread. We're going to do that again. Inhale up, spread those fingers, feel that stretch, and then push that left arm up. I'm always turning my palm up to open the shoulder, getting a little deeper stretch there. Inhale, reach up, spreading those fingers, dropping in to this other side. Push that arm long. And we're going to twist next. So inhale, arms up again, spread those fingers, and then twist over to the side, looking over that right shoulder. Feeling the inhale pull you tall through your spine. Feeling the exhale deepen through that waist, twisting, looking over that right shoulder. One more breath here. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale into the twist on this side. You're not pulling yourself in. You can gently rest that hand outside the knee. You're inhaling fully, lengthening through your spine, feeling the twist happening in the waist as you exhale, looking over that shoulder, taking another breath here. Come through center. We're going to take our hands together, clasping one thumb on top. Inhale as you push your palms away from you, dropping your shoulders down. Exhale as you lift hands overhead. Inhale as you bring your hands behind you, clasping, other thumb on top. Exhale as you push your chest out, stretching through the collarbone. Keep your belt tight, protecting your low back. Inhale as you bring those arms back in front of you, crossing them out. Pushing palms forward. Exhale as you lift up. Inhale back behind you. Other thumb on top. Exhale as you push that chest out. Keep that belt engaged. Inhale back in front. Pushing out. Exhale, lift. Inhale back behind. Exhale. Release. Other leg in front. We're going to go through similar movements, but we're going to start with the twist. Inhaling up, twisting over to the side. We're going to move a little quicker here. Inhale up, twisting over to the side. Inhale. Exhale into the twist. Inhale. Exhale into the twist. One more. Inhale. Exhale into the twist. And another inhale. And exhale into the twist. Come through center. Spread your wings wide. We're going to do eagle arms on this side, crossing that left over right, finding your shoulders or your palms, whatever feels good there, and a little flossing of our shoulders. Keep your chin parallel. Don't tuck it or lift it. Tighten the belt around your waist. And as you inhale, lift your elbows up towards your chin. Exhale, draw the elbows down towards your belly. Go slow. We're flossing through the shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, draw down. One more lift. Exhale, draw down. Come halfway up so you feel that stretch on the backs of your shoulders. Tight belt around your waist. You can keep that tall spine, or if you want to start to hinge from your hips, folding gently, slowly. As soon as your hips lift, you've lifted, you found your edge. Wherever you are right here, take a final breath. And as you inhale, uncross your arms, drop down as low as you can into the floor, tucking the chin in, letting that curl happen in your spine. Breathing into this right hip. One more breath. Finding the very bottom of the exhale before we move again, coming into a tabletop. So you're going to turn yourself over onto your hands and knees, knees under hips, hands under shoulders. I say wag your tail when you get here. It's going to help you find your good alignment. Spread your fingers, find that monkey grip, fingertips and heel of the hand pressing into the mat, saving your wrist a bit, moving those knees right under hips. When you feel like you've got wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, come through center and we'll cat-cow the breath a few times. Inhaling, lifting chin, lifting tailbone, dropping belly, and then pushing, rounding, scooping as we exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round and scoop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round and scoop. One more inhale, lift. We're going to move a little bigger and a little more intuitively. So close your eyes and start to move your hips in one direction, making a small circle. Coming up into your wrist, go slow. You're moving slow, feeling into your body. Eyes are closed. And when this feels right, you're going to start to figure eight and move your head as well. So circling the head, coming down into the side of the hip, up into the wrists, over to your side seat, right? Just move slow, move intuitively. You don't have to look like anybody else. Eyes are closed, just feeling into your body. Stay in your breath here. Wherever you are, reverse. Make the circle first. Go slow, circling the hips up into the wrists. Find that circle. Keep that belt slightly engaged to protect your low back. And then when you've got this, start that figure eight. Get the head moving too, making that circle the other way. Go slow, nothing pulling in the neck area. Nothing snapping in your low back, right? Keep that belt engaged. Move slow, feel in, keep breathing. One more big breath. And then you're going to drop into a child pose that you can hold for a few breaths. So some of you are going to keep your knees together to protect the low back, feeling that support into your low back and hip area. If you want a little deeper and you can handle it in your low back, you can keep your toes together, open your knees to the edges of your mat, and drop in a little deeper. Keep your head heavy, connected to your mat. If you need to lift the floor up to you at all, use your forearms or your fists. If your hips are tight and you can't come all the way down, use your own body to support lifting that floor up to you. I'm just demonstrating how I stack my fists and I can rest my head on my fists. I can stack my forearms and bring that floor up to meet me so that I can relax into this. So we really want to drop into this child pose for a few breaths here, just breathing into the low back, breathing into the hips. That deep, smooth, even breath, nourishing into these spaces that tend to hold issues, right? So just supporting with our breath and our intention to release issues out of the tissues. Recognizing we do not have to know what these issues are, just the belief that we can release with our breath and intention is enough. Which is why each one of us is enough. Our own breath, our own intent, our own belief.
So clear, we are each here to find our own sovereignty, our own truth. Taking one more breath here. Letting that go all the way. We're going to find our elbows draw in a little closer to the head to feel an opening through the shoulders, but keep the arms heavy. As you lift your head up, you're going to turn your gaze gently from side to side, just releasing through your neck area. Come through center and say yes a couple times, lifting the chin up and tucking it in. Go slow, pulling nothing in the neck. Finish your exhale, set the head down. Elbows should be close to your head, your forehead, or your ears. Bring your hands together into prayer hands, palms touching, fingers spread. Draw your hands back toward the nape of your neck as you're pressing elbows down into the floor, opening through the shoulders a little deeper. Breathe into this. One more breath here. We'll stretch through the side of the body while we're down here. So bring those hands back down in front of your head. Bring those elbows a little wider. Walk your upper body into the right side of your mat. Stretching down that left side. If you want to deepen this, the left hand lifts and crosses on top of the right hand. And you turn your gaze up under your armpit. That's going to take the stretch a little deeper. Options, take them or leave them. Whatever feels good. You want to feel good in your body. That's what we're doing, trying to feel good, feel safe to release these issues out of the tissues. Next inhale, walk over to that other side, knowing you have your same options over here to deepen the stretch. We're going to come back through center. We're going to walk into a puppy dog pose for a deeper shoulder opener. So if your knees are wide like mine, you want to bring them back under your hips as you come back into your tabletop. Everyone up into tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. So we start here. We want to keep the hips over our knees. Hips are not moving at all. You're going to walk your hands up a little further and you're attempting to drop your chest down toward the floor. So walk those hands as far as you can. Keep long in the arms, dropping in hips over knees. You're not moving your hips at all. You're trying to drop your chest toward the mat. The forehead may find the mat, possibly your chin. Breathe into your shoulders here. One more breath. Gently walk those hands back in, lifting your upper body up. We're going to come into a crouch, stretch our feet. So roll onto your toes, lifting knees up, hips over your heels. Heels are lifted. You're in a crouch. You're stretching deeply on the calves and the feet. Tuck your chin in, let your low back curl a bit and breathe into your whole body here. One more breath. Keeping that long, smooth, even, steady breath, finding our steady, strong, calm, infinite self that knows that nothing is wrong. Truly, all is well. Creating that peace within that we want to see without, being the stabilizing forces within our environments. We're going to come into a deeper wrist stretch. Roll back onto the shins of your legs, knees touching down on the mat, gently releasing your toes with compassion, sitting back on your heels, taking your time to lift that upper body, roll your shoulders up and back, right? There's no reason to ever rush. We rush everything. We live in a microwave culture in which we rush everything. The mat helps us slow down and remember, slow down and remember, slow down and remember. We're going to get a deep wrist stretch here. So take your arms long, spread your hands wide. You'll bring your right hand over your left. Start to turn your thumbs down. Palms will come together. You're crossing the fingers and drawing your fists in and out. Drop your shoulders down. Keep that belt tight around your waist to protect your low back. And breathe into your wrists, right? We're on our devices quite often all day. Breathe. Finding that balance in our bodies once again, releasing out those things that are not serving us, any dis-ease in our experience. On our next inhale, we are going to release, lengthen out, uncross, lift. And then exhale, float the arms down. We'll go right to that other side as we're sitting back on the heels gently, arms long. Left now goes over right. Turn your thumbs down, palms are meeting each other, fingers are crossing, other thumb on top, hopefully. Bring those wrists in, out, drop shoulders, belt tight, breathe into your wrists here. Supporting the body to release these issues with breath, with intent, knowing that's all it takes. It's all it takes. It's so incredible how truly powerful we really are. Last breath here. We're going to come down into our final resting pose. It really is a short but meaningful, nourishing, coming back in, recognizing we are the most stabilizing forces often in our environments. And that as we anchor in the peace that this world so desperately desires to see, we really become such a blessing in the here and now. So as you're laying back, go slower than you want to go. So I'm going to get a little ab work in here. And notice I brought my bolster in under those knees. So if you watched me, hopefully you were adding your blanket, your pillows in under your knees. And we're just going to sneak a little ab work in here because I believe as we find strength in our experience, we are able to release those issues out of our tissues, feeling that safety as we feel strong to meet some more maybe dense, painful places, right? To let go and find that liberation and freedom. So finding that strength as we lower down slower than we want to go, keeping that transverse abdominal chain engaged. We'll let go when we get down. We'll wiggle that low back to release out of there. Keep the hands on the belly. And then make sure your neck is nice and long. So I'm wiggling a bit in the head, just keeping my neck nice and long, chin slightly tucked there. Hands on the belly. It's a great way to allow your gut brain to know you're safe. It's a quick way to signify to your body you're safe. You're safe to be here now. Whatever may be coming up, whatever may be ready to release. Perhaps there's a bit of emotion, energy in motion. We have moved energy this morning. Perhaps there's a bit of energy that's needing to be released in the way of emotion. Allow yourself to release. Welcome the release. Welcome the release.
And with your breath, just being, we're practicing the being, recognizing we are enough with the breath, with the intent, with our belief. Access the infinite self that knows all as well. That infinite well of wisdom we come back to again and again on our mat. I'm so proud of you, Divine One, for finding your mat once again, for coming deeply within yourself once again, to own your sovereignty, to find your power source, to know your truth. Leave you here knowing you are a blessing. Those you meet on your path today will experience your peace that you've remembered once again. The light in me honors, cherishes, delights in that same light in you, Divine One. Namaste.